Hi YouTube friends, I'm Purple Cookie 80 here with your daily wine review. Um, Sharon finds Noah in the home and she was like, "Oh, when did you get here? Aren't you should be hungry, right? You want me to cook you something to eat?" He was like, "Oh well, I came last night, Mom, but you weren't here." And he was like, "Just please tell me you weren't with Adam." And she's like, "Well, no, I wasn't with Adam, but I have been seeing Victor, and he says it's not a good choice, but he won't give her grief about it. He says he'll roll with it." Um, at Newman, Victor and Nick are they discussing the new beauty of nature thing, and they have all these samples laid out on the table. And Vic tells Nick that he's got issues, but he's not worried about losing the company. Victor says that he'll need to be in contact with Sharon, who won't be in today. And Nick's like, "Huh, yeah, sure." And Victor like wanted to say, he said, "Well, I want to address the elephant that's in the room. I know you probably have a lot of questions about me seeing Sharon and all that." And he was like, "Well, yeah, you bet I do." And he was like, "Yeah, I went by the ranch and she was there." And he uh he said, "But you know what? Whatever y'all do, I'm not worried." He said he's worried about his kids, and that's all. And he just gonna leave it alone. He don't even want to discuss it anymore after this. Whatever he do is what he do. If that's what makes Sharon happy, then oh well. Noah comes up while they talking, and he says that Sharon told him everything, and he was glad that both of them were there at the same time so they can both see that he's okay with it. Victor tells Noah if he has concerns that he can talk to him about them. Don't try to be too hard on the mama. Just come to me about it. So at the club, Chelsea tells Adam she's got a job at Jimmy's. He's like, "Oh, good stuff." As Chelsea kisses him goodbye, Sharon comes up, and her and him get to talking. And he's like awkward, and Chelsea looks and she turns around, she sees that it's Sharon or whatever, and she go ahead and leave. I guess she had to go back to work or whatever. So Adam and Sharon, they get to talking about respecting each other's relationship, and they both moved on. And he was like, "Well, if you want to be with Victor, so be it. Just I hope that's what you really want, and I hope it works itself out for you. And if I hope he doesn't hurt you and all of that stuff." Um, She'd rather that she wouldn't be with Victor, but if that's what she want to do, then that's what's count. Her happiness is more important. And they exchanged a few laughs or whatever, and they moved on. Sophia arrives with Moses and flashes to Neil proposing to her, as she see them. They come into the athletic club. So Catherine arrives. She goes to Neil's to see him, and he was like, "Come on in. I'm glad you came." They start talking about Harmony, and Neil says he does have feelings for her, and they do have feelings for each other. Catherine's like, "I feel so bad when he I feel she feel bad," and then he tells her that Sophia knows everything, and she urges Neil to make a choice that's gonna be beneficial to the family and stick to it this time. You either stay in your marriage or you go be with Harmony, but you can't do both. That's not right to Sophia, and you can't you either gotta commit to it or don't commit to it. And Neil was like, "You're right. I do need to come up with this decision. I do need to ponder it and think about it." So that's the advice that was given about marriage. So Sophia gets home, and her and Neil are talking. They both was trying to talk to each other, and they was about to cut each other off. And he was like, "Sophia, just please let me say what I have to say, and I promise you can say whatever you have to say." So he's telling her that he knew he wasn't faithful in the marriage in the beginning, and how he knew that he wasn't giving it his all, and he apologized for hurting her. And he said, "But this point on, he really wants this marriage, and he wants everything to work, and he'll do whatever it takes to make it work." So she's looking like, "What, really?" Because she had something to say to him. She's looking at him like, "Yeah, you saying this right now, but we'll see." So she gets to say her words, and she's like, "Well, yeah, I've been thinking too." And so she says that, "Yeah, you saying all of this, but you don't have those deep feelings. That's the one thing that you haven't given me, and that's the one thing that you haven't told me through all this stuff you saying, and it's that you love me. And he was like, I see how you, she was like, I see how you are with Harmony and all of that, and you don't, I don't see that when you with me. And she was like, if you love me, I could understand that, but you never ever said you love me. I could just see it in your eyes, and I don't want somebody to just be with me just to be with my son and all of this and that. And so she says, and Neil finally just comes out and say, well, I'm sorry, I don't think I'll ever be able to feel that way. And she just looks, all right, Neil, you a sucker, and I don't like you no more. I used to root for you, Neil, I really did, but I am so disappointed in you. Anyway, so Sophia hands him a document, and he was like, what's this? And she was like, I filed for divorce. And he was just like caught off guard. Yeah, you think somebody gonna run after you all the time. But anyway, so Harmony, Devon and Harmony are at Crimson Lights. He was getting ready to leave. She was like, please don't be like that. Please just let me talk to you. Can we have a minute? And so they get to talking, and she said she want to go start fresh and try to make things right. And he tell her not to bother him. He knows she loves him, but loving her, he knows she loves him, but loving her back just may not happen right away. She did everything that he didn't think she would do, and after he just opened himself up to her and told her this is what they would do. So he was like, I just can't go there right now. I just need time. And Harmony turns to go, but Devon stops her to ask her about Neil, and she said she never wanted to make trouble for him. She's just been keeping her distance. She don't even want to be around him anymore. She just hopes that he works things out with his wife. And Devon tells her to keep it that way. You just said that, now do it. After Harmony gets a call from Catherine, she cries and Devon being mad at her. She cries to Catherine about Devon being mad at her, and Catherine asks her to come meet her and let them go talk. So Chloe, Kevin, Kyle, and Abby arrive at the bar, at Jimmy's bar. So Chloe and Abby, they going back and forth about the where the little gala's gonna be, and the guys are like, oh God, do we have to sit here through this? And so Chloe was like, well, Kevin's my husband. And so Abby was like, well, Abby was like, you're just my cousin. I mean, Kyle was like, well, I'm just a cousin. And Abby was like, well, I remember that when you need a kidney one day. So he went ahead and sat down, and they just continued to go back and forth on who was gonna have what, where, and all of that. So Chelsea pops up, and they were like, she's like, hey, you guys, and they was like, hey, how you doing? And Chloe was like, no, we don't need no company or nothing like that. And so she was telling them that no, she worked there. She didn't want to sit down and have a seat with them. So Abby announces that Angelina is coming back to perform, and Chloe tells Kevin it's part of an operation getting rid of Carmine. So the guys think it's bizarre, but Abby calls Carmine and invite him over, and get to act telling him about all that. Carmine wonders what kind of game she playing and was, but he said I'll do it, just to have Angelina back. Devon arrives and he gets to gossiping with the girls about Chelsea working there, and what else happened? Okay, Abby returns to the table where Chloe bursts out, you are so into him, and then Adam arrives and Chelsea says he and Sharon aren't over each other, and Adam insists he wants Sharon to move on because of how he feels about her. So they done made it to the club. Harmony has made it to the club, and Catherine's there, and she's telling her she spoke to Neil and has the full picture now, and she support her in any way she can. And Harmony says she walked away from Neil and straight into Mick, which is what she called what's Ashley's husband name, Tucker. So she was like, I wiped out all respect that I've earned over these in one night. And so she was like, I'm pleased to hear you, Harmony, didn't use, and that you moved on, and I invite you to move back in my home, and we can get through this together, and I don't want you to have to feel alone and all of this. And they hug and make up and all that. So at Sharon House, Victor comes up, and he's telling her that Noah seemed accepting of their relationship. but he's not sure he believes it. Sharon says she tells Victor she wants to be with him. They embrace, but they don't look happy. They just feel like they settling, which they are anyway. You should not have done that. That's nasty. That's your daughter-in-law, your grandkids, mama. That doesn't even look right. But Victor and Neil, y'all are on my list. Anyway, so Neil grills Noah at Crimson Lights like, why are you okay with this? This is your mom with your grandpa. And he was like, well, Dad, you're with Phyllis. You're marrying Phyllis again, and I don't have a problem with that. So, y'all moved on. Y'all seeing other people. Y'all can, it says people can't help who they fall for. And so Nick is like relieved and proud of him. And he was like, well, you really showing growth. I can't believe it. But so that's what happened today. Of course, like I told you, I have to try to go real fast and just get the main points because they cut me off so much. So tomorrow, Daisy says, I'm Daniel's wife. Don't I have a right to know? And Daniel tells her somebody died a long time ago on this day and it was his fault. So Nick and Sharon think of Cassie. Sharon's crying. If Cassie had never gone out there tonight, a lot of things would have been different. I know she's talking about her and Nick probably would have still been together. So at Cassie's gravesite, Victor takes Nikki's hand, and it was all romantic looking. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But again, I thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Okay, so you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow with the Daily White review. Bye bye.